Tonight on Podcast Them Down, we are reviewing the third Spinal Tap movie.
Podcast Them Down.
Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim.
Timothy.
And this is Podcast Them Down. That is Doug. And that is Matt. And we all recently managed to see Spinal Tap. What is it? Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, the third Spinal Tap movie?
Something like that. It was impressive because Doug was there, and I believe we met somewhere in like Missouri because it was like halfway between all of us.
Well,
somewhere there's Egyptian ruins.
Yeah. Oh, Memphis. It
Yeah.
was Memphis.
Oh, yes.
I am very annoyed by the Spinal Tap franchise disregarding the 90s movie. It wasn't, it was basically a concert film with some edited stuff in it, but it is a film.
Mm-hmm.
The Wikipedia entry acknowledges it as a film, and then also manages to gloss over it. But this is Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues is the third Spinal Tap movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's what's got me fired up about this. Doug, what?
Well, I'm kind of going to take the opposite position. So the movie, I came in with the barest minimum expectations, and the movie met them. As a sequel to This Is Spinal Tap, one of the greatest, comedies ever made, it is kind of weak. As a continuation of a 40-year art project that has spanned 4 albums, multiple TV performances, and that second concert film, I think it's more interesting.
Fair. Yeah, well, let's get into the history of Spinal Tap because I got this great background.
But I guess just to play between the two of you, is the second Spinal Tap film, or is that 1992 Spinal Tap live film canon?
Yes.
Or not?
Yes. They talk about various things, like updates since the first movie. And then the third movie, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, also fills stuff in terms of lore. So
yeah, and so the lore or canon, as we olds call it, before This Is Spinal Tap, the original is actually not completely, but 90% fictional. Like the reason why the "Give Me Some Money" video is so complete is because that was filmed for a 1978 TV series that I'm sure you'll talk about. But the characters slightly predate the movie. They were from a SNL type show from '78, and then they turned that gag into the movie. But the Spinal Tap lore or canon from '84 forward is the real canon of the fake band.
right.
Okay. I think I might actually understand that.
So in the narrative of this new movie, the last time the band played together was 2009, which happens to be the last time
Actual
Spinal Tap has actually toured. And the drummer and the keyboardist are actually members of the band who predate at least the keyboardist predates this movie. He happens to now be playing a character in a movie he's been playing already for 16 years in the band.
I'm so confused already.
Well, let me just dig up, let me just tell you some things I've dug up about the history of Spinal Tap. So Spinal Tap, as we know, David St. Hubbins, Nigel Tufnell, Derek Smalls, the former 1964 to present, the guitarists. Derek Smalls joined in 1967. The keyboardist and backing vocalist, Caucasian Jeffrey Vanston, joined in '89, and the current drummer, Dee Dee Crockett, joined in 2025. So, former members, I'm sorry, some of these are great. It's just a list. So on guitar and backing vocals, here's the 2 entries. Ricky from San Francisco in 82.
Okay.
And Ryan Gordon, 92, who also played baseball bat. All right. Keyboards. There's a bunch of people, including Nick Wax, but Viv Savage, the one from the keyboardist from the first movie, was allegedly killed when he went to visit the grave of former drummer Mick Shrimpton, whose grave exploded due to methane gas buildup.
Oh, dear.
There were some other bassists in the 60s, including Ronnie Pudding. All right, and then the drummers. All right, this is what I wanted to get to. Joe Stumpy Pepys. He's the one who died in a gardening accident in 1966.
Yep.
Replaced by Eric Stumpy Joe Childs, who choked on vomit in 1967.
Now, which one was Ed Begley Jr.? I always forget. Was that the first
I think
drummer?
it was Stumpy, yeah.
Oh, Stumpy. Okay.
Then there was Peter James Bond,
I mean, that's a great name.
who spontaneously combusted on stage during the Blues Jazz Festival on the Isle of Lucy, leaving behind what has been described alternately as a globule or stain on his seat. Liam Gurley Robinson, 1970 to 72, died in his living room while reading Irene Idisley by Amanda McKittrick Rose. Jade Brown, 72, overdosed on sulfur dust. Dominic Jones, 72, quit while touring in Los Angeles and was immediately hit by a bus. Then Shane Walker, 72 to 73, quit while touring LA and was also hit by a bus almost immediately. Matthew Davies, 73, maggot infection. Tony Sam Roberts, until 76, died while trying to stop a ceiling fan with his head. Rossi Smith, 76, died laughing, thinking about Monty Python's The Funniest Joke in the World sketch.
That's a funny sketch.
Keith Williams, the 78th. 76 to 79, wedgied himself to death. Robin Wilson, 79 to 81, mauled by a grizzly bear, even though there are no grizzly bears in England. Mick Shrimpton from the first.
He's in the film, right?
Yeah, exploded on stage. Joe Mama Besser, 82. I think you see him at the end. He couldn't take this 4-4 shit. That's a quote. According to an MTV interview with Spinal Tap in 91, he disappeared along with the equipment during their Japanese tour. He is either dead or playing jazz. All right, then Richard Rick Shrimpton, 84 to 96, allegedly sold his dialysis machine for drugs, presumed dead. Sammy Stumpy Bateman, 96 to 2001, died trying to jump over a tank full of sharks while on a tricycle in a freak show. Scott Skippy Scuffleton, 2000 to 2007, sneezed himself into oblivion. And then Chris Papa Cadeau, eaten by his pet python Cleopatra. Now, there is a gap from here until the third movie. So
that kind of makes sense, right? Because when did they last play, Doug? 2009?
yeah.
2009.
So maybe they just had a session musician.
And then we'll circle around to the discography, but let's get into the movie a little bit first. So from a high level, it talks about basically Marty DeBurgi films. There's going to be a Spinal Tap reunion, and he's going around to the principals and talking to them about coming together and doing this reunion show.
A contractually required reunion show.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is the whole basis of the movie. So it just revolves around that.
Yeah, and none of them have spoken really since 2009, their last show. They keep talking about, I forget which one of those British festivals that they actually played, of course. And what we see, Christopher Guest character runs a cheese and guitar shop.
Oh yeah.
England. The Michael McKean character is in the Bay Area up there in a mariachi band.
That's
The movie, for some reason, thinks is very funny. And then Derek Smalls runs a glue museum.
Oh, yeah, the Museum of Glue. I forgot about the Museum of Glue. Yeah.
And how I guess Marty DeBerge goes around. Yeah, just like you said. They still have the keyboardist who played with them in 2009. Who, was a musician in the band who's now a character in the movie. And they audition a drummer.
well, after several people turned them down, including Lars Ulrich.
Yep. And the guy from the
right.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good segue in that. What I think sort of, I don't know if misunderstood's the right word, but Spinal Tap is a metal band or pretty close by 1982 standards, certainly a metal band in the original movie, and certainly has many of the aesthetic qualities of metal in this movie and in that movie. But the actual humor is very general audience rock / live music based.
Yeah. There's very little metal specific humor.
Yeah, the iconic stuff from the first movie, you know, the Stonehenge being too small and the pods not opening, and what else? The amps going to 11 and the ridiculous guitar collection. Like, there's almost none of that big theatric metal stuff happening in this.
Yeah, there's a very theatrical band like Kiss, like Queen. And the maybe an expectations thing here. I think for general audiences, a lot of this stuff in the second movie probably works pretty well. But it's like if we accept the premise that Spinal Tap is a metal band, who are you going to audition for drummers, right? Mm-hmm. It would be all your archetypal metal drummers, some burnout hair metal guy. I think we do get him. But then you like the prog person with the drum cage and has to get the right note. You probably some extreme metal guy from Behemoth or Slipknot. You know, like that would be the basis of the humor. Instead, we get an old man, I think, playing prosthetic limbs or something. We get the Blue Man guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get a woman, which the movie thinks we're supposed to find weird or funny. I found it an interesting choice.
And that is the aforementioned Dee Dee Crockett.
Yes.
And she's younger. She's like her idols or whatever.
And she seems a little more punk, maybe. But, you know, they don't really go into scenes as we understand them or history. And I found a lot of the humor around her really dated. Like, she's a lesbian, which the movie, again, kind of presents as odd or shocking, which probably wouldn't have even been true in 84.
What was the movie? Was it Dodgeball at the end where Christine Taylor's character at the end goes, "No, I'm bisexual," and then
That was Dodgeball.
yeah, and then she smooches a lady, and it wasn't funny then. Like, okay. And then it was a similar scene when she goes, oh, I'm a lesbian, or here's my girlfriend, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it was presented as, get it? But yeah, it's like, I get, okay, like, who cares? Move on.
And it's just like, to jump back to the setup, I think the reason why there's suddenly an interest in Spinal Tap is Toby Keith and who was the female singer had done a duet version of Big Bottom, and that's what put Spinal Tap back in the news in this universe. And Big Bottom and the sort of the super cheesy, sleazy lyrics, like goes unchallenged in this movie. Like, you get Paul McCartney saying it's brilliant. You get Toby Keith and Shakira or whoever it was singing these really stupid lines, and everyone saying this is great. And that's
but
not
people still like that Sir Mix-a-Lot song, which is not too far different.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but there probably would have been more interesting humor in the band having to answer for, even what the original movie Mine did with the sort of mindless juvenile sexism, which was endemic in 80s hard rock.
I don't know. I think it's very body positive.
Yeah, I suppose it's neutral on the size of butt. No, big. Yeah, it is a bit.
Positive. It's very positive. He's bragging about how big his lady's bottom is.
His girlfriend, yeah, or his woman, whatever. Yeah, but anyway, so they have a reunion show in New Orleans because Stormy Daniels canceled in the venue, which again, a little, maybe if this was 2018, that still would have been very funny. In fact, it's 2025. Yeah, so they're in New Orleans. I actually in a historic building in New Orleans, if I recall, and the whole gelling as a band again, practicing the set, and all that is the bulk of the movie. And we have sort of one-to-one proxy characters for the original movie. We do see Janine, the Michael McKean character's girlfriend, who has joined a covenant, though interestingly, that seems to have happened very recently in the continuity of the movie. Like she's become a nun at age 62. But they introduce a equivalent character for who's the Christopher Guest character's girlfriend at the bread and guitar shop, constantly talking on FaceTime. So it's kind of like they're setting up a similar thing, except now it's the Michael McKean character who's irritated with the disconnection in the relationship between the two primary characters. Not Ian Hill, the manager, the original manager, is replaced by his daughter, who's the contract holder. And then we get a new sleazy manager, which sort of funny.
I think was supposed to be Simon Cowell-ish, because he was like a record company guy.
Right, who can't hear music, which is his strength. Which is just one of those things
I don't really understand that. That character had a lot of weird things.
Well, and then the character just vanishes, and there's no payoff to the character or to the movie in the way the character just leaves the story.
Well, that seems to happen a lot. It's like they have set up many, many potentially hilarious scenarios, and then kind of none of them pay off in this movie. So like, for example, David is furious with Nigel about something and won't talk to him. And he's basically like, you know what you did. And then when they finally confront each other about it, it's quick and over with. Like, okay.
And it's the stupidest shit ever, right? It's like he slept with Janine.
Well, I'm trying not to like spoil things so people who want to watch the movie can still
spoiler
watch
alert.
the movie. Yeah.
Sorry, I revealed the shocking twist. But yeah.
That gets resolved in like 45 seconds.
And they might have well not have resolved it. I mean, the magic of the first movie is that relationship, right? And which gets the short end of the stick in this one. So we should step back. The original This Is Spinal Tap, the mockumentary concept predates it, but it certainly came up with the current rules and popularized the format, which has been done in a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows. And even apart from the format, it introduced this heavy improvisational style, which is on the Larry Sanders Show, The Office, both versions. It's just been very popular in the last 20 years, where the creative process, at least in the Christopher Guest's other movies, which I expect is about the same in Spinal Tap, is they have about a one-pager for the story. They have a bunch of scenarios, but super defined characters. Mm-hmm. Then they just set the actors loose and find the humor and all that and shoot hundreds of hours of footage and then find the story in what they shoot. And that can work really well, like the original Spinal Tap, like A Mighty Wind, Best in Show, probably the best examples of this. But the problem when everything is improvised is the characters aren't driving the story, right? You can't have a strong narrative and with everything completely improvised. And you find that story in what you shoot or you don't, and they don't seem to here.
And again, they set things up that don't pay off. Like the relationship, for one thing. They set up a great joke. Okay, so you remember he's like, in the first movie, he's talking about his wireless guitar system, and then it causes him to walk off stage at the Air Force Base show because he's like picking up the air traffic communications. Well, in this one, they have lots of potential for guitar foot pedal effects pedals jokes. And they almost do some, and then that's okay. That's it. Next. And like, they could have tried a little harder to flesh out some jokes or make, because they brought it up for no reason and then there's no payoff. So. And
don't you get the same joke twice with him having an excessive amount of pedals while playing twice with not really an escalation and definitely no payoff?
Well, no, he did get more pedal boards, but no payoff. This is as good a time as any to go through Spinal Tap's entire discography, starting in 1967 with Spinal Tap sings "Listen to the Flower People" and other favorites. Then in 1968, "We Are All Flower People." 1970s, where is it? Oh, that's "Listen to the Flower People." And then 1970s, "Brain Hammer."
I like Brain Hammer.
"Nerve Damage" 71, "Blood 2 Let" 72, "Intravenous de Milo" 74, "The Sun Never Sweats," which is right here, 75. They had a Judas Priest like pace here for a while. "Bent for the Rent" in 76, "Tap Dancing" also in 76, "Rock and Roll Creation" in 77, "Shark Sandwich" in 1980, "Smell the Glove" aka the Black Album in 82. Then there was "Break Like the Wind" in the early 90s. Then "Glamge" GLAMGE in 97. www.spinaltap.album in 2000.
There was a Pitch Shifter album called www.pitchshifter.com in 97. So yes.
The Ethel Life of Pat LaNips video game soundtrack 2005. Faucet Back 2008 and Tapped Out 2014. There's also live album Silent But Deadly in 69. And I'm not going to give the other one because you can't say that anymore. Heavy Metal Memories is a compilation in 83, which is right here. The Incredible Flight of Icarus P. Anybody in 1969, another compilation. And some of the bootlegs have good names, but I'll skip all that for the unreleased and unfinished material. Here's More Tap in 1970, Flak Packet in 74. There's a 4-volume album called Hernia in 1974 that was unfinished. Lusty Lori in 1976, and Sex original motion picture soundtrack in 1979. And then apparently David St. Hubbins had an 85 solo album unfinished of jazz collaborations called In Search of a Brown Note. And then, of course, Nigel Tufnell's Clam Caravan and Trilogy in D minor. Oh, this is good stuff here.
Where is this? Is this on the official website?
No, this is on Wikipedia, of course. But I've saved you the effort of digging through it. Because someone sure liked to write a lot about Spinal Tap. So I have filtered it down for you. Hey, Fran Drescher shows up in this movie. Haven't thought about her in a couple decades.
Yeah.
And all the cameos are terrible. Again, she's kind of wasted. Paul Schaefer's wasted,
When you say wasted.
No, I mean, yeah, like not good.
Yeah, she has like 20 seconds of screen time. Well, at the time of filming, she was still the president of SAG-AFTRA.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? She was president for like 5 years. Wait, do you know who the president is now?
Is it Niles from Frasier?
No,
Probably someone Trumpy.
no, it's Sean Astin.
Oh, Sean Astin.
Yeah,
Potatoes.
Mr. Frodo.
Isn't he also Rudy? Is that right?
After he was in a movie I didn't expect him to be in recently. So
Huh.
anyway, yeah,
Well-
Fran Drescher's still around. How about that?
And the other thing that
That's something.
so at one point again, it's them going for a cheap, seemingly universally relatable joke over a more interesting joke, but I forget the context in which it comes up. But they basically talk about how the band's fans are all geriatric, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you look at Sabbath fans, Priest fans, Maidens fans. That's not really true. Nor is it true at the Spinal Tap reunion show, in which the fans are mostly 20s, 30s, 40s. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic. What draws kids to care about these very old men stuck living this juvenile fantasy, arguably? But the movie doesn't explore any of that in favor of just a one-to-one. Their fans would be old now. They need whatever, walkers, walk-in showers, whatever.
They do ask the new drummer, worried about befalling the same fate of the other Spinal Tap drummers, and the payoff on that almost worked, and then they ruined it at the last minute.
Yeah.
So, but
Completely.
that is the very end of the movie. So you'll have to see it to find out. But like, they almost did it, and then they fucked it up. So
Yeah, 100% agree.
It was close though. I mean, until the very end, I thought they were going to pull it off.
I bet some executive was like, no, you have to. It looked like it was done in reshoots too.
Yeah.
Like it had nothing to do with anything else. It was just like after the fact. They, isn't there more? Yeah, there's another. They bring Stonehenge back.
Ew.
Right, and again, all the musicians who collaborate with them are. It should be acknowledged, of course, that McKean, Guest, and Shearer are all people who have truly worked as professional musicians on major labels and wrote all of the music in this movie and in the original and are playing everything. It is all them. That said, they're actually all older than the oldest, commonly accepted metal bands as we define it today.
Yeah.
And their actual interests, as reflected in the first movie, and especially this movie, is British invasion stuff. They love the Beatles, Elton John, sort of the pop music of the 70s, and not heavy metal. So, of course, who guessed? It's Elton John, not what would.
I mean, Ozzy could have been a guest because he was living when they were at least filming, right? Or I don't know.
Or you could have awkwardly brought in Trent Reznor, them trying to be cool and doubly not being cool. Like there's
They could have had a cameo from System of a Down,
yeah.
like that.
What? But even the big names they brought in, I didn't think were like, other than the same people you were just talking about that you say don't fit. I don't think I couldn't pick Chad Smith out of a lineup, and you even got the country singer wrong. It's Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. I don't know who those are.
Yeah.
I think they did all right picking Paul McCartney and Elton John because everyone knows who they are. But even these other big names, I know the names, I don't know the faces.
Well, I think they did. I thought was like studio people too, because I think there were definitely some cameos who they were like, oh no, who do the kids like? Because what's his name, Brad Smith, whoever the Chili Peppers guy is, like kind of had like YouTube fame because there was a whole thing of him like playing songs that he'd never heard before.
I didn't know that.
And there was actually like they had a scene where they were auditioning various drummers, and all of those drummers had some modicum of TikTok or YouTube fame. There was like the Hambone guy. There was the old lady drummer. There was some other drummer. So those were all like
Questlove, yeah.
Yeah, Questlove.
Big industry player, right? Big band.
I guess
late
Questlove
night.
is probably the most famous drummer other than maybe Lars. But also like they were all on an iPad, which bothered me because I was like, oh, they're really just phoning this shit in. It's like, well, I'll just shoot something on my laptop and you can use it in your film. So that kind of bothered me.
Yeah, and they're great improvisers, and they've been playing these characters for 40 years. So I think an interesting test is they've been doing all these in-character interviews, and 82 minutes of these in-character interviews are more interesting than this movie. Like just watching them spitball and try not to laugh at each other's jokes in real time. They're really good. And they delivered a perfectly entertaining movie. It's just nice to revisit these characters, but we can revisit them in a more interesting way for free on Kimmel or
on the YouTubes.
Yeah,
like I saw an interview with them. What was it? It was fucking like it was like some really bizarre, random. It was like Vogue.com or something, or like the Financial Times had a video with Spinal Tap, and I'm like, oh, all right, there's Spinal Tap and Vogue.com, and they're just talking about their favorite things. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, and they're fine. It was fun to see an old Spinal Tap and Harry Shearer trying his best, which is pretty much also the movie.
Trying his best. Yeah. Wasn't there some kind of legal thing, which is the other reason this took forever?
They've been pretty transparent that the reason they made this movie is money, because they were denied, I guess, however, the French studio canal. They claim to have made basically nothing from all the first 35 years of this band until I think Harry Shearer sued. One of them sued, and they all piled on.
It was Harry Shearer because I guess he, believe it or not, is the most successful because of The Simpsons. So he has like, fuck you, Simpsons money. So he was, despite the fact that Christopher Lord is a former British peer and hereditary aristocrat, I think Harry Shearer is by far the richest of them. So he's the one who had the time and money to just sue Canal Plus like for 7 years or something. And it was finally settled, and that's how they were able to do the film. That's why for the longest time, Spinal Tap has not been on streaming. And that was because of the ongoing lawsuit. And I noticed that just before this film came out, it was on, Amazon Prime and all the streaming services. So it is a very conscious thing, that now it can be played because now they have the rights.
All right. Well, what do you give this movie? Actually, back up.
Okay.
Because I had a thought before that. You say they did it for money. The budget for this was $22.6 million.
What?
Yeah. 22.
How?
Well, yeah.
Gotta be them paying themselves.
You got to rent the theater and schedule time with Fran Drescher. I don't know.
I find that dick preposterous.
Well, would you like to know what it pulled in at the box office? Which I think is kind of impressive these days.
Hold on. Wait, it was 22 million.
0.6 million, yeah.
22.6 million. I'm going to say 30.
8 million.
Oh.
$3 million.
Oh, no. What? Bro.
Well,
it should be acknowledged. We were at a full movie theater.
Yeah, that is true.
Full. And in our Spinal Tap screening, it was the three of us and then two other people.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I'm amazed they got 3 million. We went on a Saturday night too. There was no line for anything. It's movies in 2025 now.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's also Hollywood hasn't figured out that call to movies
People
do
hate
not
movies.
translate to mass market hits. It's like Blade Runner 2049, which nobody gave a shit about.
Oh, wait. Would this be an American production or an English production? Because I can see if Christopher Guest is the primary producer, maybe it was subject to the 100% foreign movie tariff. So maybe that's cutting into some of the profits.
That's funny. Okay, well, what do you give the movie? The way I've been rating movies, we haven't done any
we haven't graded
real
movies in a while.
movie ratings on this podcast. The way I've been rating
Quality
movies
and metal.
personally is it worth your time? And if so, is it also worth your money? Right? So I would say it's worth your time. You're not going to be satisfied. It's probably not worth your money. So like, wait for it to be on streaming is what I'm saying. If you have a better way of rating it, I'm willing to entertain it. But that's how I'm going to rate this movie. Worth your time. You'll be upset. Probably not worth going out to find and spend money on.
I guess. Go ahead, Doug.
It's a soft recommend for me. If you like the Christopher Guest style, and we haven't really talked about it, but most of the ensemble players in the Christopher Guest movies, whether they're in Spinal Tap or not, are in this. If you like that improvisational thing and the ensemble cast, this is like a lesser one. It's more a 4-year consideration than Mighty Wind.
Although I did really like the calisthenics guy. I thought he did a strong performance. I wish that what's his name reprised the Air Force guy.
There really was some.
They would have had to CGI him, unfortunately.
Oh, he's dead?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Fred
he died
Willard
a few
passed
years
away.
ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, they did a good. There were funny parts to this movie. Like I wasn't sitting there checking my watch, being annoyed. I remember laughing aloud repeatedly. But yeah, like I said, if you're invested in the story, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. I didn't regret going to the theater. I didn't regret seeing it. But if my car had broken down, I would have been like, okay, that's life.
Good. Anything to add?
I mean, my voice has quit. So yeah.
Man, everyone's got fucked up voices but me. So now I will use this time to tell you everything I don't like about you.
Let's go.
Oh, look at that. We're out of time. All right. So until next time, Metal, I'll have to berate you in a future episode.
Ooh.
So until next time, Metal Nation, something about 3 pedal boards be funny, but it wasn't. And it's all digital now anyway. They didn't do a thing with digital guitar technology.
We didn't talk about Harry Shearer's recording soundtrack for podcasts.
Oh yeah.
It's actually
I don't remember. What
background
now?
music for television and podcasts has been a respectable way to earn money forever. Again, that's not actually funny if you understand the music industry. Maybe if you're just a regular person. Anyway, yes. See it. You'll enjoy it.
All right.
Cast them down.
Sorry, pal. We're gonna have to do this later. But could you do me a favor? Could you have a great day? Could you do that for me? Thanks.